Hello and welcome in Echo KO. How are you doing today?
Listen, man. Normally I give you some hyped up intro, but I'm not feeling it today, man. I did everything. I wore the blue shirt. I ran to my closet this morning when I woke up. Just kidding. I didn't even get to sleep. I thought that a nice Burning Core winning was gonna energize me, get me through the day. No, they did whatever that was. So I'm not in a good mood, bro. But at least we got a couple more good games, to look forward to now. So there's still hope for today.
We do indeed. And hope for an upset is still alive. CGA, obviously the most notorious coin flip team in the league. But Sengoku have been looking really, really strong. And to show that, let's have a quick look at the DPMs of some of these players in the league. And as we can see, Jet, actually the one kicking this one off. Obviously, Vital also early on into this lead. And they got a lot of players on there. RMC, how are you feeling about this kind of spread of the DPM? Obviously, Hybrid also on this list.
Yeah, I think it says a lot that the top two are both from Sengoku here, and the two carries for Sengoku. There's a reason why they're number one here. And as much as Crest Gaming might be the biggest coin flip team in the entire league, I don't fancy their odds against the best team, period, in the entire league currently.
Yeah, it does feel like a very uphill battle. I feel like Sengoku have looked strong, strong, strong. They've not only won, but they've been pretty confident in most of their wins. I feel like CGA have had some moments of glory, though. They did take DFM to a pretty rough early game, but then weren't able to close out. We'll see if they could maybe switch that one up. And let's go into some depth about Sengoku. Let's have a little bit of a look about these ADCs. So obviously, a lot of talk has been around Honey, has been around Vital. And let's see how they actually do compare. This is off the stats of both 4 games each. So obviously, still small pools of information. Don't take this as Bible. But when we do look at this one, there's a little bit of a similarity, a little bit of a difference. DPM-wise, okay, we can say, look, Honey, not the same DPM as Vital. The unique champs, though, there's only been 2 played on Vital, and the majority of his games have been on Senna, with 3 games so far. And then if we actually look at the damage percentage rather than just the damage per minute, it's actually Honey that is dishing out more of the team's damage. So, Echo, how are you kind of feeling about these two in comparison with each other?
Honestly, I feel both of them definitely have shown that they definitely have what it takes to be kind of fleshing out this roster. But I think that unique champions is something that really you need to look at, because that's something that I feel can also be incredibly abused. Like, obviously, we haven't really seen Vital have to pull out something other than the Senna and the Ezreal that he's been defaulting to. So I'm very curious to see if maybe CGA actually realizes that that's something that they can take advantage of. I'm not sure if Vital is the one playing today or if it's going to be Honey. But regardless, I think unique champions is probably like the main pointer that needs to be looked at.
Yeah, RMC, how are you feeling about these stats right now? Obviously, a little bit more damage from Vital, but actually damage share, it is on Honey. Do you feel like the team maybe play a little bit differently, or do you think it's just actually such minor differences that realistically they're pretty much on the same level?
Realistically, I think they're quite on the same level here, Jerry. I think the big thing was what Echo mentioned, the unique champions, right? The fact that Vital hasn't been really tested outside a very limited champion pool, whereas we've seen a lot more from Honey, not just this split, but in previous splits as well, in terms of what he is able to play. And I think that's been the big conversation topic when it comes to Sengoku, is why on earth does such a dominant team need 2 dominant AD carries who both can do similar things? The question around Vital has been, why Vital, right? And I feel it's unfair to Vital because Honey came first. So the question has been, what does Vital provide that Honey doesn't? But I want to turn that question on its head and say, what has Honey achieved that Vital can't? It just feels like both these AD carries are so good right now that you could run either of them and Sengoku would run the exact same way. I think the damage percent share and DPM, going back to your original question, that just comes down to the individual matches they happen to play here, J-Real. And right now, the big question is who can match them. Hybrid, we saw on that earlier chart, 3rd highest damage DPM, I believe it was, after Jet and Vital here. So if any team can maybe try and challenge this bot side supremacy, it would be Hybrid.
I think at this
Yeah,
point,
bosses
honestly,
supremacy.
oh my bad.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was just
go.
gonna say, I feel at
Go
this
for it, go
point,
for it.
really, like if you want to be the ADC for Sengoku, you have to go through like an RMC like interview at this point. Like, what do you bring to the table? Like, what qualifications do you have?
Hey, I'm the one saying that I'm okay with Vital doing everything. Like, I think Vital's doing a great spot in Honey. It's other people questioning, what does Vital bring? So my interview would be a lot easier than, say, Mass Ones or Chimeras or Initializes at this point.
It definitely Honey is a bit of a head scratcher though, because like Spring Split, it was Honey all the way. You know, Honey was the notorious powerhouse for this team. It was really cut and clean for them, and it looked strong, and there was never a worry about their ADC. Maybe there were some question marks around some of the other players in terms of like, okay, maybe they could step up to this next level. But I'm not going to lie, Honey was never the one that I feel like we had as a person that we were like, maybe if they switch that out, something could be different. But Vital is also performing really well. And as you said, they do just have two of the best ADCs in the league, which is absolutely insane. But it's a sentiment where I do agree. Hybrid definitely does pose a bit of a threat. Obviously, we've seen some of those legendary games where he puts out crazy amounts of damage. Doesn't always win them, but definitely drops a lot of DPM himself. And on the side of CGA, like I guess it's a pretty standard one with Sengoku being so good around the bot side. Obviously, we can see them potentially play around the top side as well. But for CGA, we asked last time I was on the desk on day 7, could Nap be the one to carry? We always talk about Hybrid being the potential, but is Nap potentially going to be ready to step up? RMC, how are you kind of feeling about maybe them playing away from bot side, especially against Sengoku?
So I was on desk with you that day, Jerio, and I had said that I think CGA looks best when they put Nap on a carry, a late game skilling carry, then you play through Hybrid, let Nap skill up naturally. So I'm going to stick with that. I think that is the best look for CGA so far. Because unfortunately, Kasin and Kaito just haven't been it. Like, Kasin's been okay as an enabler, some early ganks, pathing, not optimal usually. But Kaito has been really lackluster for me so far. This team has been the hybrid team this year. And maybe Nap can try and start making a name for himself. But if it's just the hybrid show against Sengoku, where you've got carries in every single lane, that ain't going to fly.
Yeah, and Echo, I know you play a bit of jungle. We saw Kasin last split really running the map, but we haven't seen Lolbear this whole split. What's going on with the Volibear? Do you not like the Volibear? Do you think it's kind of out, or do you think that like maybe Kasin's just like, actually no, I want to switch it up?
I feel like he just kind of feels like he needs to switch it up, right, with the meta adapting as well. He's just trying to, try new things, trying to see what works, what doesn't. And he's feeling a little hit or miss, so definitely more hits than misses, so stuff is working out, but it's still kind of like, we're testing out, it's LJL labs this time around. We're cooking things up right now, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't.
Well, stats don't really lie. Well, okay, no, that's not true. But these stats maybe don't lie. Right now, he has a 100% win rate on Wukong, hasn't won on anything else. So I don't know if that makes you feel a type of way about the champion pools. Maybe that's just a little bit of a skewed stat, because obviously, again, not a massive, I can't think of it, the pool for like results. But all in all, like I want to see more Volibear. That's what I would like to see from them. I feel like it really fits how they play. Also, the Graves hasn't come back yet. RMC, do you have a different take on this one?
Jay, I just realized, right? Like, Wukong's got fur. Volibear's got fur. None of the champions he's been playing's got fur. So, Kasin equals furry confirmed?
I don't know.
The logic was good right up to the end, and I can see
he's not going to go for this one. I'm sure it's just going to be like, oh, he's just a beast or something like that. That's why they're going to go with him. But anyway, moving on swiftly to the top side of the map. We talked a little bit about Nap, but we also cannot forget Paz. Paz has been popping off. Echo, do you feel like we've talked about Nap being good and scaling up? Do you feel like if he doesn't get the resources, he's actually going to be able to take it on 1v1 with Paz? Because Paz isn't an easy lane opponent.
Definitely not. And also, it worries me a little bit because some of the champs that we've seen Nap do really well on, like the Olaf, right, the Gnar, stuff like that, it gets banned away constantly. It's like when you look at the bans against CGA, it's been, I think overall it's like 63% Olaf, and they just really like focusing on taking away Nap's sort of like really strong picks, and then that tends to also force Kaito to give some attention, Kasin, excuse me, not Kaito, to give some attention up to that. And if he doesn't receive that going up against Paz, I'm a little worried for him. I'm not gonna lie. It's like there a lot of pieces kind of need to be put together, I feel, for Nap to stand a chance in a sense.
Yeah, and talking about pieces, we could also go back to the jungle, but on the other side, Once, we talked a little bit about champion pools. Once is someone that has played a lot of different well, not too many. It's actually only like 3, I believe. But he's played some different champions. and one of them was Zach. So that was
Yes.
definitely different in terms of picks overall. RMC, do you want to see maybe more variety from him? Or do you know what? He's obviously picking up wins. He's performing really well as well. He's not just being carried. Do you maybe just say, you know what? If it's not broke, don't fix it?
Yeah, when you're saying he's played lots of different championships, I was thinking
Yeah,
he's played
that
two.
was
Wukong, Diego, that's it. And then the Zac game was an interesting one as well, because I almost feel like Sengoku was limit testing a little bit with that drop. That was a 3 scaling lane draft plus a Zac, which meant they should have been nailed early game by the opposing team. They weren't. Would I like to see once in other champions? Sure, of course. I love seeing variety. I don't like, stale metas where we just see the same thing over and over and over again. But if you're going to be pulling things like Zac out, then I don't think that's optimal. They'll probably still get away with it because their lanes are just so dang strong. So sure, why not? Let's see something new. Something that I think a lot of other regions are picking up, which we haven't seen the LJL so far. Udyr, why not once? If you're going to try crazy things, Udyr is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it definitely could work. Middlecott likes it. Maybe it will work against his team. I don't know if that's what he wants really, but we'll find out.
Hey, man, he needs wins where he can get them with CGA.
We'll find out indeed. But I will say also, we have to look at that mid lane as well. Like Jet, number 1 DPM in the league right now, has had some incredible performances. The Akali, obviously a really big standout. And Sengoku are looking really, really hard to beat. But we are going to find out if there is any potential win conditions in this pick and ban, as we are going to go into drafts. Echo KO, RMC, take us into game 3.
All right, then let's get right into it. A couple of bans have been taken up the table already. We see that Silas and Sejuani being banned away from CGA, and Sengoku following suit. Actually, pretty bottom lane focus. He's taking away the Zeri and the Nautilus. I'm a little surprised. I thought for sure that they were going to look to maybe, instantly get that Olaf off the board, or kind of just in general take away some picks from that. But no, they say, nah, this bottom lane is where we got to focus things, RMC.
Yeah, I think for CGA here, the Olaf isn't necessarily blindable, and certainly you wouldn't pick it this early on. So Sengoku can kind of hold off. And we had said that the one player who really might be able to contest is Hybrid for CGA. So I like that they've kind of paid attention, paid homage to Hybrid in that bot side. CGA, though, I think they're going to be happy. We just said Kassin, 100% win rate, or pardon me, all the wins, only wins have come in when he's played that Wukong. So first pick, Wukong coming through.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a confidence bolster. And I mean, this time around, when you're going up against the number 1 team in the LJL currently, you have to pull out all those stops. You cannot afford to hold anything back. And it would definitely be quite the showing if CGA can take out the team who even took out the dreaded DFM.
True. Sengoku haven't dropped a single game yet here, and CJ wants to be that first. But for now, the Poppy, and that feels like the LJL counter to the Wukong so far, to mobility. I like it, and we've actually not seen Sengoku play it at all this split. In fact, I don't even think they played it last split either.
Okay, it's definitely a showing. You're like, hey, you know what? I feel so confident in my abilities that I'm just gonna go ahead and first time it. So, I mean, I'm definitely impressed that Renata being locked as well. I'm curious to see who they look to pair that up with actually in the spot lane. As we see, ADC being locked in here for CJ is going to be that Jinx actually. Okay,
hyper skill in. I mean, that's a staple. Hybrid actually hasn't played it this split just yet here, but it fits the profile, and I think CJ are fine with that. Leona being okay, I don't want to talk about that yet because there we go, we might be baited. I don't feel like it's necessarily the best pick into a Renata. The Renata preemptively picked up along with that Poppy does mean that there's limited engage options for the side of CGA. I think you might be better off at this point actually kind of playing backwards rather than trying to play aggressively when you already have that Wukong as an engage option. The Ahri being picked up, it's Kaito's bread and butter at this point. This will be the 6th Ahri he's played out of 9 games here. So if there is a blindable champion for the side of CGA, this will be it.
I will say, though, I'm a little disappointed at the same time, though, because I feel like Kaito, specifically, is someone who, while it's not that he's been, looking bad, he hasn't really been looking insane either. I feel like he has so much more kind of hidden potential that's just locked away in the box, and, someone's got to hand him the key. So I really would have loved to see him pull out something crazy for this game. But, like you said, his bread and butter, got to play it safe when you're going up against Sengoku as well. I will say the Affuse being locked in here as well for Sengoku. It's quite the interesting pick here. So I'm assuming that's going to be Honey up on the board. Actually, oh, no, it is. Wait, it is Vital? Yo, what? Okay.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fine. I mean, this is a new champion, and we said we'd like to see some new champions come through. We're already seeing two with that Poppy, with that Aphelios here, and now Sengoku just gonna pinch that support pool because CGA still looking for their top and support, whereas pardon me, CGA, yeah, still looking for top and support. Sengoku looking for their potential solo lanes here. The Poppy could be a flex if they want, and
True.
considering that Sengoku actually have the counter pick as well, they get to counter pick both lanes, both mid and top here.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta say, honestly, respect to Vital. He's paying homage to his boy Honey, right? I believe Aphelios his second most played ADC in last split. So overall, I'm very curious to see if he can live up to his sensei's abilities there. He's the Yon Hover actually right now though coming out. This would be an interesting one. I'm not gonna say anything just yet. It is being hovered, but hovering for quite some time. I think they might just lock it in. Now I'm seeing. Never. I say it, and I instantly eat my words.
I mean, to be fair, Echo, you had asked me what Jet would be playing. I mean, he plays the Wind Brothers, Yone, Yasuo, Cyrus, right? Those are sort of the champions he's more well known for, high mechanical ceiling. And because the LeBlanc got banned, as well as the Victor, both of which tend to do quite favorably into Ahri, Yone is something we've seen in the LJL as a bit of a counter to the Ahri. Instead, the Corki isn't a counter per se. In fact, Ahri actually does decently well with the Spirit Rush, can look to try and punish the Corki, but it's the safer scaling pick. And to me, the fact that Sengoku are doing this, they're paying respect to CGA. They don't want to coin flip things. They're not saying that, oh, we're just going to outplay you mechanically here. They're building their insurances in when they pick this Corki, when they pick this Aphelios.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's kind of also the move to make, especially with CJ. Kind of feels like that team that has, they have like a tab open on the side that is like the random coin flip generator, and then they just kind of like, they hit that generate whenever they decide to do anything. But the Karma getting locked in here, I do feel like that, paying homage to what you said earlier, the odds are in this following, they're going to want to more be able to kind of play backwards and not have these like crazy engages potentials that you would have with the Nautilus, with the Leona. So overall, it's definitely nice to see.
Yeah, and a bit of a surprise too. We've not seen too much Karma at the LGL in the summer. In spring, it was OP support pick, but in summer, definitely has kind of flown under the radar here, and it feels like they might have been forced there because of all the support pinching that we saw come through, and Shyvana being picked up by Sengoku as well. This will be a first, and Shyvana can go both jungle and top right now. I actually think she's stronger in the jungle, but we have seen her, or I've seen her, I believe in either NA or Brazil, as a counter to the Gnar, as something that can sort of handshake, nullify the lane, and then later on at level 6, you've actually got kill throw mini Gnar as well.
I mean, and that's definitely something, that we would obviously expect to see, right? These two top laners, both teams like playing that sort of isolated play style in that top lane, right? Just let them do their thing.
Yeah.
Top's the island, just, farm it out. Everyone's happy dory up there, and, mid, bot, and jungle, that's where the real action gets started.
Yeah, and Echo, I'm just happy and excited to see Sengoku pulling out things here, trying new and different picks to come through. Because when you're undefeated right now, it sounds good. Maybe you make records, maybe you break records, but at the same time, does it really matter in the regular season? No, playoffs is when it matters. So if you want to experiment, regular season's a great time to do it here. So I really, really like what we're seeing come through from Sengoku. And don't get me wrong, these are newer picks, but they're not by any means troll picks. They are picks which still we've seen in other regions experimenting, and there are reasons why they're picked. They are strong picks into this particular composition that CJ have drafted. So I'm very excited to see this game here, Eka.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it also definitely speaks to just the skill of the players as well, that they're willing to pick these things. I feel like, right? They're not shying away from it. They realize there's potential behind this pick. We feel like we have the skill set to make it work, and we're going to make it work. But overall, yeah, I think we should really only just wait and see as we're waiting to get on the Rift. I'm excited too. I'm not going to lie. And there we go. Hey, okay, call me the master of timing. I'm not going to lie. Or Prod is just being a legend. But yeah, we are on the Rift, ladies and gentlemen. Crest Gaming Act. About to throw hands with Sengoku Gaming. Crest gonna look to take the first win away from Sengoku. I was about to say the first loss, but yeah, Sengoku's undefeated at the moment. Kind of crazy. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think first loss is getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here. Because, like I said, I mean, compositionally speaking as well, right? We didn't touch too much on it. CGA, incredibly standard draft for the most part. We've seen this time and time again. The only big difference is maybe the karma coming through, but like you said, it fits into the composition. It allows you to speed up going in as well as out. It gives you better wave control in lane. And for Sengoku, they've got good insurance, good late game skilling with Aphelios, with Corki here. They've got the range advantage as well. And with once on this Poppy, they've got great counter engage to stop CGA from getting into them. So I think Sengoku, they're more than happy to team fight. They've got all the tools here. And if the game starts scaling up, I do think Shyvana outskills Nar. So I think Sengoku, they're going to sit pretty, just sitting back and go into that mid to late.
Yeah, just vibing, honestly, as well. Corky with that first strike is going to be more than happy to just farm that money up. And the next thing you know, kind of we're 15 minutes in and he's just like half healthing all your squishy members with a rocket. You hate to see it. But only time will tell if that works out. For now, though, both junglers starting in this top lane. I mean, I think this just honestly pays dividends to the fact, as we said, right? They're going to be leaving top lane alone, let them do their thing, and really look to pivot into this mid and bot lane and make things happen there.
Yeah, fun fact about these two top players. Nap has the second lowest kill participation of all players. Paz, third lowest. They're hovering at the 50% mark for kill participation. So, yeah, unlikely we see too much jungle focus up there.
Yeah, definitely some similarities there going on. I mean, honestly, like I can respect it, right? If you're relegated more to a sort of split push role and you just kind of do your own thing, sometimes that's exactly what your team needs, right? You don't always have to be this top laner with 80% kill participation. Honestly, I'd be pretty impressive if you had that. But it's like there's always a time for certain things.
Yeah, a time and place. And for this early game here, that will favor Nap, with the Mininar, of course, being ranged. And we touched on the fact that Shyvana level 6 can try and punish Mininar. But till she's 6, she doesn't really enjoy that particular matchup here. So Nap, let's see what advantages he can find, whether he can get a big enough lead to try and extend things for now. And Paz just has to kind of sit back and soak the damage, get experience more than CS. That's the important thing in these early levels.
Yeah, definitely. Both junglers very close here into this ball here. Scuttle is about to be up. Once should be there earlier on, so should be able to secure that. But I'm curious to see if we see a little bit of a scuffle about to go down here. We do see, obviously, CGA has pushed out Sengoku pretty far under their own turret, so that would definitely be a gank potential. But once might actually be looking to take out Kaito here. You can shove Kaito into that wall. Maybe they can find something here. Looking for it. Gets the shove. Could be huge. Trying to get that first blood down so low. Come on, one more hit.
One more.
There we go. The flash. Oh, no. They are still going to trade. It's turret damage diff, baby. So they will go 1 for 1. But at the very least, first blood is going to go into the hands of Jet. He survives. Gets to manipulate that way. Force the TP out and head back home.
Yeah, once, though, did have to burn flash on that particular play there. So I think for CGA, you're going to call it worth. You did have to blow both the flashes. Jet had to flash in as well here. And while Kaito does have to expend the flash, he'll be back in time to soak up most of this wave. Kassin actually just waltzing into this lane here. Bro, just wait one more second and maybe you could have punished Jet. We do get the replay onto this. And I actually want to focus on once a little bit, tanking up that turret shot. Because the initial play was great. I think the keeper's verdict, or not keeper's verdict, pardon me, the steadfast presence was a little bit early. And yeah, I guess the charm from once slowed him down enough that once had to tank the extra shot. A little bit over ambitious from Sengoku, not the cleanest of plays, but the first blood, I guess, makes it worth it for Sengoku here.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, if you're on CJ says, like you said, they're going like, hey, you know what? We take those two. You die in the process, but you get the double flat where you get at least one big flash out from Jet. And so overall, does get that kill. That's 300 gold still in his pocket. Definitely feeling good about that. Once he's just, I mean, my man is just showing his face everywhere. He's like, yes, I'm here. If you make one wrong step, it will be your last. Trust me.
These junglers, man, they're asserting dominance into the mid lane. I kind of don't know why. Like for CGA, maybe you've got the Arya trying to make early action happen, but like once showing up there, it's like, okay, which I think shading into Fog of War would probably give you more pressure, maybe. I don't know, man. The mind of pros is a strange and odd place sometimes. It
is, man. It is. But hey, it is what it is. Do you see Kassin? Be looking for trying to get some more info here. He does see NT, believes him to be on his own, is gonna opt to back off though. Doesn't want to start anything up just yet. Just going to pop that blast cone, get on over the wall there. Drag is up, but at the moment, not seeing any rotations coming out just yet. Either team doesn't want to make the first move. Want to still farm up a little bit. No, I feel no real surprise there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Echo, at all if they just kind of wait and go for the Herald instead of these dragons. Sengoku actually has the highest dragon rate by a long shot, 87.9%. It's disproportionately high, but they don't take risky dragons. That's one of the reasons why they get so many dragons. They're very good at just holding it and then going for when it matters. That stat might lower down, though, as Kassin actually going to start this one up. I don't know if they spotted once or whether they're just feeling themselves a little bit here.
Yeah, I want to say they did, but I could be wrong. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if CGA just feel themselves this time around, right? So honestly, big ups to them. Kassin, gonna go ahead, grab that drag, first drag secured here, and with that mountain as well, definitely gonna feel quite nice, that extra armor you're gonna be getting. But for that, obviously, once was able to snatch away a couple of Kassin's camps, gonna move on back to his own jungle here. And so for right now, pretty tame game at the moment.
Yeah, gonna be honest, Echo. I don't think First Dragon really matters, especially like you're just getting the one, right? But the fact that CGA get it for free, that matters, because what the ones get, once invaded and I think got wolves, and that was it. Didn't get blue buff, and now Kassin and Kaido did one spot out. I think because of the rich trinket, I think he realized that somebody was there. Kassin had to be the one there because Kaito doesn't have it. So one's gonna have to back off a little bit here, but the moment Kaito shows back mid, once is going to know that his rip buff is free and safe to take again.
Yeah, definitely. We'll say that Sheen on Kassin definitely looking a little bit dangerous here. Vital looking for something, some kind of aggressive play. Not quite going to find it though. Nemo trying to find that tether, but won't get that as well. Honestly, I got to say, bot feeling just as kind of chill as top lane. I mean, we had Pan top, it feels like in 10 years, but bot lane as well. They're just kind of handshaking that farm, unironically, with them playing that Renata. Got that handshake ability, and they're handshaking this lane, it feels like.
Yeah, a lot of it's just coming down to the Karma pressure, right? That's why Karma is a really strong support pick in a way, because she kind of nullifies that lane. She just gets perma push, and that's what we're seeing. Not much else, honestly, in terms of things. And Echo, you're saying, they're looking. I don't know if they're looking. Honestly, it feels like neither of these teams are looking. We're looking harder than they are, Echo, for some sort of a reaction.
Like I'm just at this point, I'm just getting worried about our last game that we casted, where it was just nothing was going down, man, and we just literally were vibing for like a good, I don't know, well, how long was that game? Like 30-40 minutes, and it just felt like nothing.
25 before we saw like any.
Yeah. Okay. I was about to say, I thought you were gonna tell me it was 25 minutes, and it just felt so much longer. I was like, there's no way, right? There's no way. There's no universe.
No. It felt maybe longer than that, but no. I think it was 25, like to the first real action. Like there was a kill before that, but it was like just super random. Somebody walked into a bush, that they shouldn't have been. Yeah, no. Neither of these teams are in a rush. But CGA probably should be in a bit of a rush. I mean, they're starting to hit level 6 in the bot lane and the jungle. That's one of the power spikes they have with the ults they have. And if the game keeps running long and CGA don't make anything happen, I get worried for them because they don't have an answer to Corki. Generally, the answer to Corki is just engage, right? Like find a way in, find a way to punish. But against a Poppy, against a Shyvana, even if you somehow get past the set fast presence, there's Keeper's Verdict. Shyvana can always knock you out with Dragon's Descent as well. And once you burnt the initial engage, well, it's free for Jet to just poke at that point. So if there is pressure to make things happen, it's on CGA.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and those are just two of the champs, right? Then you also have from Vital, if he's got that purple gun, you can get that stun going down. You've got the handshake coming up from Renata as well. You've got the ultimate as well, that hostile takeover. So it's just so many different tools to keep you away from the damage dealers over on Sengoku. And so they really do need to make something happen. And speaking of making things happen, they are looking to drop this Rift Herald down here. Maybe try to make something happen after that. Nah, okay. All right, just gonna let it crash in, grab a couple of plates, head on back home.
Yeah, plates, Echo. They got plates. Something happened.
Yeah.
This is why in the past people used to cheer for ward takedowns because teams do this. And it disgusts me because Vital has actually picked up a call. So you can tell that Sengoku's bot lane has zero intention of doing anything anytime soon here. They're just like, okay, you know what? We'll give you the plates. We're okay. And despite that, Sengoku are still up gold despite giving over those early plates.
Yeah, definitely. Once is hovering around here though. Was maybe looking to see if he can find something with Kassin. Obviously clearing those Krugs. Doesn't want to risk anything just yet. Do you see the
Oh.
roam coming out though from Jet? Maybe they do end up looking for
Yeah.
something here. Can't quite find that tether. Does have that package available. They're looking to bait him, and a lot of damage coming out to Kassin actually. But Jet still biding his time, getting that poke damage out with the rockets here. Got them all pretty low, but there's just no way for them. And so overall, Jet is going to have to fly on back to mid lane, pop that package, and nothing going to come out of it.
Yeah, package for the quicker reposition back to the lane here. What were we thinking, Echo? Roam's down.
Yeah.
Of course, nothing would happen. It's just going to be turret plates. But realistically, actually, props to CGA for not overstaying on that turret. A lot of times you'll see teams be like, oh, okay, yeah, no, we got this, right? Guys, we've got 3 people. We can call TPs in. They overstay, and then they kind of get punished. They die in the turret, and Sengoku would have accelerated from there. As it stands, they just answer back plates. And then when you consider that, hey, we gave up 2 plates as well to Herald, it's just balanced, as all things should be, Echo.
Yeah, exactly. Balance is all should be. Now, next drag, Cloud Drake. Okay, thank God. No cloud map. Love to see that one. So I'm already a little bit happy about that. But that is live, and Kassin and them are already there checking it out. But once an end tier, like, we're not gonna give it up so easily. See Paz on his way as well, popping that burnout, looking to move there a little bit faster. Jet, maybe they're gonna look to shove that wave out and then head on down here. We're seeing a lot of assist pings coming out, and once it's gonna get some initial damage down on that dragon. TP coming in as well, and so a fight is definitely brewing. We're not gonna have to wait 25 minutes for some action this time around. RMC, things are about to go down here and now. Dragon still being hit just slightly by Kassin here, looking to get it lower and lower, but just not everyone there yet. Hybrid, unsure if he wants to get closer. Keeper's verdict is being charged up. Not going to find anyone, though. Hostile takeover gets dropped, and they have been separated, though. That clone doing a lot of taking. The Cyclone getting dropped. Jet needs to fly over the wall. Not fly, excuse me. Uses package to get over the wall. Bailout gets dropped. The pass needs to get a kill. Can't find it, though. Kassin gets down a return. Down goes NT as well. And overall, CGA actually looking pretty good right now. Only losing Kassin, but with him being down, of course, that is no smite available. And so they are going to have to wait if they want to take that drag.
Not gonna lie, Echo, for a second there, I thought they'd just, kind of face off and want the teams to be able to successfully just take the dragon and to just disengage. Yeah. But no, there is action. They do actually go for the fight here. And as you pointed out, the fact that Kassin's going down and once it's still up does mean that CGA don't get the prize, the dragon. And as a caster, I'm going to be happy about this, Echo, because it means we are we going to see another dragon fight? No. I think Sengoku have the inside track here. The way the fight starts out is kind of interesting as well, because CGA is very, very split right now. Granted, Vital is off on the side by his own and has a long way to walk, and that kind of messes up the fight for them a little bit, because the collapse is good. They get the numbers advantage. They push in on one side, but throughout this, Vital has yet to auto attack. Vital can't get into the fight because he was so far away, and because of that, Paz ends up going down. You trade back for Kassin, but it's not an equal fight here. What should have been a better fight for Sengoku in punishing that weird 3-2 flank split backfires.
Yeah. Overall, drag going into the hands of Sengoku here. Gonna grab that. We are gonna be getting an ocean map. Like to see it. Herald up in 37 seconds. So maybe we get lucky, RMC, and they look to fight for that one, as we are seeing a lot of mythics coming online here. We have the Gale Force for both Hybrid and Vital. We have the Divine Thunder coming out for Kassin here. And so definitely a lot of champs starting to come online slowly but surely.
And for CGA, this is a bit of a power spike for them. We're seeing the mythics complete, right? Kaito has got the Everfrost as well, whereas Jet still stacking that mana mune, not quite mirror mana status yet. So for CGA, push this, take advantage. We just saw the bot side turret going down. Jet's about to equalize that. And for Sengoku, I actually don't want to see them contest for this Herald, because I don't think they'll win it in a 5v5 or 4v4 situation. So if that's the case, just keep pushing. Get the farm on your other members instead. Sure, by all means, get vision down on Herald and poke your head round so that if CGA gets greedy, you punish for it, and that you force CGA to actually commit, 3-4 members to take it, but don't hard commit yourselves.
Yep, Charm does land, so does Everfrost here onto Jet, but Kaito knows he needs to be careful. Once it's here once again. I'm getting PTSD last time around, but a wall is not close enough, and Kaito is going to stay alive. Some good movement coming out. Not going to find anything, and that's going to give Kassin free reign up top to grab himself that arrow.
Yeah, this one's a bit of a bargain Herald for CGA here, in that they only had to use one person. I was just talking about, for Sengoku, get vision down, right? Like, make sure that you charge CGA for this Herald here, but no, they get it for free. And now CGA gets to decide, hey, where do we want to drop this Herald? I actually would have preferred to see it mid. I think that's the harder one to crack, but they're just trying to speed up the game a little bit. They want to unlock Nap here as well. They're going to get the charge, and Paz actually cancels the base here. So will lose the outer turret, but should be able to defend the inner turret and make sure that they don't get additional demolition damage.
Yeah, and I mean, I do feel like in general, with both of these side lane tier ones down, that is going to translate into mid being a lot easier to crack and give you a lot more opportunities when it comes to just moving around the map. That being said, though, you need vision if you want to do that, and I do feel like CGA's vision game still lacking a little bit. All the wards that I'm seeing right now are just kind of in that neutral point in the river, right? And I mean, it's definitely good to have, but you got to get some of that deep stuff going if you want to know where the rest of Sengoku is, if you want to start making these plays, because you might end up being like Kaito here, who is just kind of stuck, and he's on the wrong side of the map. He's dashing away. He's trying his best to get away, but Ons is just right on him in one spot. Let's just smash him to the wall. Come on, give it to him. Oh, he's waiting. He's just trying to buy time for Jet. One more rocket. There it is.
Yep.
He gives him right to it, and that's what I'm talking about. You don't have that vision, and you get collapsed like that.
Yeah, it's all about that gold efficiency, Echo. I mean, we already saw when they flashed the gold, Jet is the richest person on the map. That is that Corki that's untouchable, right? That will become the biggest carry force for Sengoku, so they're trying to be efficient about it. And vision, huge props to actually Sengoku. Well, both teams actually, I think, played the vision game kind of right a little bit. Kaito just overextended without sufficient vision. But if you look at the way the vision was distributed, CGA had so much more on the top side because that's where they wanted to play to that Herald, to that top side turret initially, where Sengoku had the bot side fully covered. And I don't think it's CGA's fault necessarily that Kaito was didn't have sufficient ward coverage, because Sengoku had done such a great job clearing out the bot side on that play they wanted to make. It is on Kaito, though, that he probably should have been a little bit more wary of overextending like that. Yes, you have Flash, and yes, you are an Ari, but we've seen Corki's, chase you down in long lanes, and once has shown that he's very, very focused on punishing Kaito for some odd reason.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a vendetta going on against him. This is like the third time around that he's just running him down. And I gotta say, respect obviously to funneling some more of that money into Jet as you see the shield flow getting unlocked for him as well. It's just gonna be so much more damage, so much more survivability in the random chance that a CGA member actually manages to get on top of him.
Yeah, and for CGA right now, I'm feeling like they need that random chance right now. They need to punish Jet. Jet has not died a single time so far. 2-0-1. It is scaling now. This third dragon that's coming up here, Jet now has Mortal Shield Bow and Mirror Knight completed. So Corki just hit his power spike. CGA, this is a sort of stat check for you if you want to go in on this. If you can't win this fight, that's when we know that CGA are kind of in trouble scaling wise.
Yeah, definitely. You already definitely feel in trouble when it's still another 10 seconds away, and Sengoku's already looking to just establish control in this river and almost your jungle as well. There's not a single timer right now that is pretty much down that would be incredibly important. So everything is on the table right now. Everything's available, and this drag, it's not going to be available for much longer. No, come on. Oh my God, the keeper's verdict. Nothing
it's the
that
Poppy
they
special.
can do. Yeah, it's the Poppy special. They do him like that. Grab the dragon. It's gonna be the second dragon in the hands of Sengoku.
Yeah, it's a slammer hammer, right? It sends you right to the slammer straight away. You don't even do not pass go, just go straight to jail there. Yeah, and for Sengoku, we don't get to see the stat check come through, but it's a very clean take from Sengoku here. And Ocean will actually be kind of important for both these teams, because when you're facing a poke composition, the best counter to it is Ocean, not just Soul, but just the Drake in general here. And for Sengoku as well, will enable them to poke out that much better. The Soul is going to be massive for them, because one of the other things to keep in mind is that Ocean Soul is actually more effective the more health you have, the tankier you are, because number one, you survive longer, and number two, it's a percentage healing. So the more health you have, the more effective it is. With Paz and Once being the two big tanks in the game, both on the same team, Sengoku really wants that Soul to ensure that, hey, CGA, you're never getting past our front line. And in the event you do, our front line's never going to die, and it can run down your back line.
Yeah, especially looking at Baz's build as well. Other than his boots, he does not have a single item in his kit that does not give him at least like a small amount of health. I mean, hell, even the Doran shield, you got that 80 health coming through.
Yeah.
So he's definitely going to be benefiting from stacking those drags, but he will have to be patient and wait a little bit longer for that next one to be up. And for now, Sengoku is looking at this mid turret. It's looking juicy. They want to shove that wave. They want to get it down and open up that map, but CGA is not going to give it to him for free. That's for sure.
Yeah, and for both these teams, Echo, I feel like the significance, pardon me, of this game is very different. For CGA, like you said, to be able to hand Sengoku first loss would be absolutely massive. But for Sengoku, the wins expected at this point because they're supposed to be the top team and they haven't dropped the game. So for Sengoku, it's a question of how cleanly can you close this game out? How well can you play it? And so far, it's been very uneventful, but it has been fairly clean. Ideally, I almost feel like from here on out, Sengoku shouldn't be dropping any deaths, or if they do, it should be like a 3-to-1 ratio for kills. Like I lose one person, I kill 3 of yours.
Yeah.
Or ideally, I'd like to see them actually, be proactive and kind of make things happen onto CGA, because so far they've just kind of sat back for the most part until objectives roll around.
Yeah, it definitely does feel like they're kind of just letting CGA do pretty much whatever they want. Obviously, they've shown a bit more here at these drags now that they're not going to just give things away for free. But I will say, it doesn't necessarily feel like I'm watching the highest team in the league, taking on CGA, who are just, I believe they're what, 5th right now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're 5th right now.
That is correct. Yeah, 5th, sitting at 3-5 here. So yeah, we'll have to see. I have high expectations for Sengoku, and if not, then I'm praying that DFM gives me that fast game here, because these two teams should be setting records in terms of how fast they're speed running.
This bro just wants to go to bed. Like, come on, just let RMC leave. He's got to do 4 games today. He just wants to sleep.
Not gonna lie, part of me a little bit of that, but I think a lot of it's just coming off the high of Hawks versus Burning Core, right? Like that was a high octane game, and then we come into this 6 kills in 22 minutes. I mean, granted, Echo, it's not the worst we've done, but it's also not.
I think it's just me at this point, man. Like, I honestly, I think whenever I'm casting, it gets really slow. The game's just testing me. They know I don't like to have to cast really slow games and actually put my brain in and not just say what's happening in front of me. And they're like, nope, that's exactly what we're gonna do to him.
Or maybe it's just your mood, Echo, right? Like it just
that
mirrors your
could
mood.
be.
When you're kind of tired, when you're not feeling it. When Burning Core loses,
your
cast are gonna get slower paced.
That might just be it. Oh no, because Sin in a bit of a tight spot here though does pop that clone, and so that's gonna allow him to escape before now. So definitely a bit of a wake up call that he has to. You got to be careful in these parts. There's always Sengoku might just be waiting around the corner in the next brush to take you out, and with drag up in 40 seconds as well. It's no surprise that they're there as well, trying to find anything. A lot of damage coming out onto Kasin here, almost at half health already. Not the position you want to be in, but still has a little bit of time to heal up.
Yeah, it's just poke for Sengoku here. They're not hard committing, and you can see it's kind of working. Kasin got chunked quite a bit. Nema got chunked a lot. Nema down to 50% right now, and I don't know how effective he'll be. Nap has gone mega, and that is critical for Sengoku, because once that goes down, it'll probably go down roughly around when Dragon spawns as well.
Yeah,
so
I think quite literally when it spawns, it's about to go. Yeah, 2 seconds left, and it's gone down to. That is not the best move. But CJ realizing that obviously doing their best to try and just zone them off, give Nap some time to. I don't think he'll be able to get that rage bar back anytime soon, unfortunately. And his rage bar is full right now. Paz actually could be using that. Could use that ultimate if he feels like it. Nemo still under half HP, and Kasin is also not super low, but not at full health either. And I think they're realizing that right now, trying to give him the Poppy special.
Okay,
that is going to be hybrid gone. That's a huge damage dealer gone. There we go. There's an ultimate coming up from Paz, the burnout as well. And they grab the dragon. They're like, hey, we got what we want. We're leaving.
Yeah, this is what I thought would happen in that earlier Dragon Echo, where the teams were facing off, and I didn't think they were actually going to fight, because that's how the Sengoku comp kind of works. They don't actually need to get any kills. We just need to force you away, whether it be through poke or a keeper's verdict. And for CGA, their positioning too is kind of suspect. The fact that they keep finding themselves in these weird 3-2 splits. I've said it before. When you go for a flank, it should be a 4-1, generally speaking. At worst, you go 3-1-1. 3-2 as a flank is not very optimal, because the other team just needs to pick a side and force the fight. And in that case, Sengoku, when they realize that, hey, Kaito, Hybrid, Nema, they're all off on the side there, we can just walk at Kasin and Nap. What are they going to do? Ult us? Sure, they'll stop us for a second, but there's no damage, there's no kill threat here. And Paz is so tanky. Warmog's completed as well, that Paz will happily soak all of that supposed damage from Nap and Kasin all day long.
Yeah, Paz literally just takes the right hook, and he just kind of He just smirks at you like, yeah, you sure you wanted to do that? Like you're about to regret all of that as he just walks right into your face. But yeah, it's true. CGA, and I feel like, we talked about how they need to get something done, and they've been procrastinating, and it's looking like they're about to pay the price.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I say I want to see Sengoku do things more as the
Mhm.
dominant team, they're not like this is the way their composition functions. They're actually playing this right, as boring as it looks. Yeah, and it's on to CGA to make something happen. And so far, where's the
Bunch of
last engage we
nerds,
saw here,
dude.
Echo? Like, look at the kill distribution as well, too. Nap 2 assists, right? And Nap and Casino 2 engagers. If they're not getting assists, then it's not coming from team fights. It's coming from picks, which is less than ideal for CGA. And Sengoku are just not giving you opportunities to find picks. They're always clustered together.
Yep. Oh, there we go. Look,
Okay.
I'll look for something here. We do see a hostile takeover getting dropped. Those flash from Entity to get away actually
Oh.
from the Everfrost. That is huge
Kassin.
damage coming out from Vital.
Oh.
And Jet secures the kill with the rocket. Gets himself one. Flash coming in from Kaito. Can't quite find the charm. And he's going to go down as well. Jet is like, nice try, baby. I'm going to take that kill. I'm going to take that gold. Super Mega Death Rocket gets dropped, but does get tanked. It still won't quite do enough damage. And they're looking to go ahead and just grab the Baron for that. TP coming out as well from Paz to help make sure that this mid lane doesn't get pushed down. Oh, it's just going to ult away, actually. I feel like he probably could have just sit there for like a minute or two and nothing would have happened. But Nap did go Mega as well. Another TP getting dropped here from Jet. He's back in the fight. And meanwhile, the rest of Sengoku are just going to go ahead and grab the Baron. No one to contest. And yeah, they're living their lives pretty right now.
Yeah, Paz just there to distract everybody, right? Like, hey, look at the pretty shiny dragon. don't look at the Baron over there. And I want to highlight that Sengoku didn't actually clear the Baron pit, so there was a ward actually in there for the entirety till pretty much the end. But here's the fight from CGA, and to a certain extent, this is what they needed to be doing 5-10 minutes ago, and you can see why it's so difficult compositionally. We said it in draft, the fact that Sengoku's draft just has so many good disengage options there. You can see that Kassin tried his hardest and just wasn't able to find anything. They don't have enough burst damage at this point. That was Enti, the squishiest member you could find, and you couldn't kill him. And now it's become a problem. Now Sengoku just gets to run you down over and over again, siege you up over and over again as well here. Kassin?
Yep. Oh my god, they're looking
This
to
is
fight.
huge.
Actually, a lot of damage coming out. There's that shield blow though, but it's not going to be enough. He does go down. They trade one for one and grab themselves. Kassin, look at that pass. Is standing in the masses. He does not care. Hostile takeover. Your company belongs to me. I'm buying all the stock, baby. And Paz to get themselves so many kills. He takes so much, dies a heroic death. Hybrid last man standing. Won't quite get him, but it doesn't matter when you cashed in the stock that is the rest of CGA.
Okay, Echo, I think we can phone it in now. That was the best possible fight CGA could possibly have found. They burst down Jet immediately. Great catch from Kassin, taking advantage of the additional bushes from Ocean Map. And it did not even matter. Enti's hostile takeover, man. Hybrid ended up killing Nema pretty much. That was brutal to watch here. And Kassin, so patient. Paz just walks by. The man holds his nerve, doesn't show a thing. And because of that, Jet thinks, oh, I'm safe. No, you're not. You get absolutely popped here. The problem is you still traded 1 for 1, and Sengoku are just so far ahead. And watch the hostile takeover here from Enti. Yes, there's a dash away, but just the very tip of it catches Hybrid.
Look at that.
The range is so long. Yeah. And Hybrid, we said before, he's got, really, really high DPM, third highest DPM, right? But what happens when that DPM is working for the enemy team?
Yeah, definitely not the best position to be in. And also, Paz, my man was just standing there. He literally just tanked. He's like, I mean, okay, I'll go down, but like, you will not have a team to back you up once I'm down. So like, it's all good. I don't mind being the sacrificial lamb here. With this next drag me up, soul point for Sengoku. CGA cannot opt to give it over. Oh my god, down goes Kaito. And it's only going downhill from here. Kassin soon to follow. Nap next up on the list here. Gonna throw Paz into the wall. But can you escape the rockets and the flame breath from Paz? I'm not sure you can. No, you cannot. Actually, it's gonna be Vital who grabs himself the kill and shuts down his vital signs.
10 seconds on Baron. Only Hybrid and Nema up. They cannot defend this here. And Sengoku, I don't think they can end. The dead timers are still fairly short. 20 seconds on Kaito and Kasin, but 30 on Napier. They're
I
gonna
don't know.
try.
They're looking for it right now. Once it's just, oh my god, yo, he's such a menace.
doing
He's
it.
just scary. Now they're actually doing it. So much damage coming out, and with that, Sengoku, they played the waiting game. No, oh, my Vital, careful now. Almost has to do this. That actually does go down.
Does die.
To the very- Come on, Hybrid. Now's your chance. Ah, unfortunate. Won't quite get much out of that. And overall, Sengoku will stay undefeated. We wanted a little more action, but at the very least, they didn't take the L. So I mean, I'll give them that. You know, they understood the assignment.
Yeah, I mean, Echo as a caster, yeah, you're right. They did wish for more action, but as a color, I've got to give props to Sengoku. It doesn't look exciting, but it's actually terrifying.
It wasn't. It
facing
really
down
wasn't.
Sengoku and watching
I'm just saying, it really wasn't exciting, but
yeah,
it
but
definitely.
it was
Yeah.
terrifying. Yeah, because when I'm looking at this as an enemy team and I'm looking at like how do you beat Sengoku when they put on performance like that? Yes, it was unexciting, but it was because Sengoku just never gave you an opening. And my goodness, I feel bad for CGA right there because CGA coin flip team, they do best when there's a chance to coin flip. Sengoku just kind of punched in the face, took the coin, and said, "No, you don't even get to play the game."
Yeah, they were on the coin flip generator website. They just straight up like pulled the plug from their PC. Like, no, you're done. You're done. You gotta go outside. You gotta play for 60 minutes. You gotta get away from the PC. And we're gonna have to get away from the screen because I know that J Rule gonna want to talk about that. We'll go to a quick break, and then when we're back, J Rule will be back with us, and we can break down what the hell just happened.
We are back after game 3 and a little bit of misery if you are CGA fans. It was the expected outcome though, so I guess you can't be too surprised. You also can't be too sad because yes, Sengoku are looking very, very strong, and they continue to do so once again. Echo KO, do you feel like Sengoku are just consistent, or do you feel like they're going to slip up at some point?
I don't know, man. Honestly, after that performance, they're looking tough to beat. They are looking very consistent. They're five-way consistent. Every single lane they understood the assignment well and they executed perfectly. It's like RMC said, right? As a caster, maybe it wasn't the craziest thing to cast, but just watching it as a color as well, I mean, that was huge. They, like I said, they understood the assignment well and they executed it perfectly, and they were rewarded with the win.
Yeah, indeed. And we can pull up draft here. We got a few picks to talk about. Obviously, Wukong, no longer 100% win rate for Kassin. So we did talk about the stats being potentially just a small pool, and there we go. We've already got the break right there. But some other picks that we did have to come through. Shyvana, top RMC. What are you making of this pick?
I mean, like I said in draft, it's something that we have been seeing, picked into NAR specifically. Now, Javier, you mentioned that it's not actually a favorable matchup, and it's been on the losing end. I forgot what the exact number was there. For
it's
had,
one win to 6 losses so far.
Okay,
against the NAR.
Yeah, so it's not great, but it's been picked usually to be able to punish later on, more reliable ults as well. But I'm going to be honest, you could have picked any other tank in this particular game and we've done the exact same thing. Paz and Nap did kind of what we expected, which was they're on their own island. They'll come and join the team occasionally, but they're not really critical for the most part. So interesting pickup. I'm not sold.
Yeah, we also talked about a few other ones. We talked about Vital basically playing Senna and Ezreal, so quite safe or supportive. Playing Felios, a full carry now, looking quite strong. Echo, we talk about wanting Honey back, but to be honest, is Vital just popping off? Like,
I mean, like straight up, my man, he's stealing Honey's picks at this point. He took his second most play 80s from last play. He's like, let me show you how to do things. He performed well with it. Positioning was great. Overall, it was a very good show. And if I was Honey, I'd be just a little bit worried. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, do you have a spot to come back to at the rate you're going?
Like, are we gonna be seeing him anytime soon? Like, I don't know.
Shout out to some of the other teams. Maybe they're gonna be like, maybe this is our chance to steal away.
This is the move,
But either way, it's a really good pickup there. Vital, I feel like had a really good game again and looking stronger there. Obviously, Jet as well, popping off the damage. And what can we expect, once also having a good performance? I feel like Sengoku as a whole just had a good early game. They get those leads and then they just hold on to it. It's just really difficult for them to basically, the other teams to kind of get into the game. And as you said, CGA loved the coin flip, but I do agree with you. It did feel like they took that coin. They said, no, we're playing the game. You're not getting a chance. You can go sit down and we'll finish this game. But with that being said, CGA, were you happy with how they played RMC, or do you feel like you didn't get to see enough because of the way Sengoku played the game?
On one hand, I do think I would have liked to see them make more attempts proactively in the early game, because they didn't really do that. But on the other hand, to be honest, you can't really fault them, right? Like a lot of it's just Sengoku not giving them any openings, and CGA tried to play it a little bit safer. My viewpoint has been and probably always will be that if you're the weaker team coming into a game, when you're not favored to win mechanically, you've got to take risks. You've got to introduce chaos into the game somehow, because that's the only way you break it open. And with the comp you drafted as well for CGA, you did index a little bit heavier into the early game. You certainly weren't going to win the late game, as we saw. You don't have a way to play the late game whatsoever against the range of the disengage that Sengoku have. So because of that, I understand where CGA is coming from. I respect that they didn't want to throw games. They didn't want to burn the way Burning Core does at times. But the good thing about Burning Core is that burning gives them an opportunity here. And I think for CGA, got to go balls to the wall sometimes.
Yeah, indeed. And right now, CJ sitting 3-6 at the moment. They are solo 6th position right now because Ross just picking up a win, have matched Burning Core for that joint 4th. So right now, they aren't where we necessarily expected. I think we gave them around 5th position, so we expect them to be at least one higher. But obviously, some people are performing, some people are underperforming. We'll see how that one does pan out in the later segments of the split. But with that being said, Sengoku looking strong once again, 9-0 now, taking the top place, undefeated still. We'll see if that remains later. But we're going to have a short break. We'll be joined back with some action from DFM versus V3. DFM looking to catch up to the side of Sengoku.